with the mind.
Lord Nitai and Lord Gaurachandra are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduced a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. My dear brothers, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification, become absorbed in worshiping Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, and simply chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, without any material motive. My dear brothers, just try to examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. But I, Lochan Das, regret that I am entrapped by sense gratification. I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, and therefore Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement.
Thank you. Since we always start our classes typically with reading words from Srila Prabhupada, I'll read a purport that Srila Prabhupada has given to this song. Okay? Srila Prabhupada has given a very beautiful purport. It's a short purport, but very, very sweet. Okay? This is a song by Lochan Das Thakur. Pahu means Lord, and Dui Jana means two. Lochan Das Thakur declares that the two Lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, Lord Nitai and Lord Chaitanya, are very merciful, Parama Karuna. Sava Avatara Sara Shiromani. Avatar means incarnation, and Sava means all. They are the essence of all incarnations. And their process of self-realization is simply joyful. Kevala Ananda Kanda. For they introduced chanting and dancing. There are many incarnations like Lord Rama and even Krishna who taught Bhagavad Gita, which requires knowledge and understanding. But Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda introduced a process that is simply joyful. Simply chant and dance. Therefore, Lochan Das requests everyone, Bhajo Bhajo Bhai, Chaitanya Nitai, my dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. Don't think that this chanting and dancing will not lead to the desired goal. It will. It is the assurance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one will get all perfection by this process. Therefore, one must chant with firm faith and conviction, Vishwasa Kuri. But what is the process? The process is Vishaya Chhadiya Se Rase Majya. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. That is the only restriction. If one gives up sense gratification, it is sure that he will reach the desired goal. Mukhe bolo Hari Hari. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari Hari without any motive of sense gratification. Dekho Hare Bhai, Tribhuvane Nai. Lochan Das Thakur says, oh my dear brother, you just try to examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda, because their merciful qualities are so great that they make even birds and beasts cry, what to speak of human beings. Actually, when Lord Chaitanya passed through the forest known as Jharikhanda, the tigers, elephants, snakes, deer, and all other animals joined him in chanting Hare Krishna. It is so nice that anyone can join. Even the animals can join, what to speak of human beings. Of course, it is not possible for ordinary men to induce animals to chant. But if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could inspire animals to chant, at least we can encourage human beings to adopt this path of Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. It is so nice that even the most stone-hearted man will be melted. Pashan means stone. It is so nice that even stone will melt. But Lochan Das Thakur regrets that he is entrapped by sense gratification. He addresses himself, my dear mind, you are entrapped in this sense gratification process and you have no attraction for chanting Hare Krishna. Since you have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, what can I say? I can simply think of my misfortune. Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. The specific significance of these incarnations is their way of prosecuting their way of self-realization. So, this is a very short purport by Srila Prabhupada on this beautiful bhajan. Parama Karuna Bahudvijana Nitai Gaurachandra. So today's topic of today's class, welcome to ISKCON Scarborough. Welcome you, and we pray that we can serve you nicely and fulfill all of your spiritual needs. And if there's any way we can improve, we look forward to hearing from you, because if you don't tell us, then how will we know? Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? People, when they come to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, they ask this question, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I asked this question also. I read all of Srila Prabhupada's books. I was reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and I was not 100% convinced that ISKCON is bona fide, because I did not understand who is this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I asked my spiritual master for scriptural evidence, because we cannot believe something that someone says just on the basis of their personality or their charismatic nature or whatever. And this happens. Okay? But before we get into the topic of the class, I'll beg for blessings from the spiritual masters, from the Vaishnavas, and from everybody who has made this knowledge available to us and who has allowed me to understand a little bit about it and allowing me to share it with everybody. And my prayer is that we may all share it with everybody else, because that is the topic of today's class as well. Okay? Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sadrajatam Sahana Raghunathamritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha-Krishna Padan Saharanarita Shivishakamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinamandho Jagatpate Gopesho Bhika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Vridanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I asked my spiritual master more than 600 questions by email before, over a period of approximately 4 years. And round and round, my problem was that I did not actually want to accept a spiritual master. I wanted to go on my own and do this stuff on my own, understand everything on my own without surrendering, so that I could remain the master of my own life. I did this, and one of the challenging questions that I asked was, who is this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Because I was born in a Madhva Vaishnava family, they don't know anything about Radharani there. And who is this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And what is the evidence that he is Krishna? I asked. And then my spiritual master responded with 100 plus scriptural references. It took me a while to absorb all the scriptural references. I took each scriptural reference, tried to find the original scripture and make sure that the verses are actually there. Right? So, and some of the scriptures I could not find, because it's hard to find these scriptures. But I found enough to know that I was being a complete fool. Complete fool. And here is this gentleman who is my spiritual master, who is taking his time and his energy, and he owes me nothing, and he's not taking any money from me either, and he's answering all these questions to me. And then I realized, what am I doing? And who is this gentleman who is taking so much kindness upon me, answering all my stupid questions, as if they are the most important questions in the world? And what is this spiritual power that he has so much patience? And then, as I read the different scriptural references, I realized that's actually the grace of spiritual Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that is flowing through this chain of gurus and disciples who then become gurus, who have disciples and so on, and is continuing for thousands of years. And this is the power that is flowing through this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which is what has the power to cleanse so many people's hearts. You know, when people come to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we don't set a precondition, only pure devotees allowed. Only Uttama Adhikaris, topmost Bhagavatas allowed. No, we basically welcome anybody and everybody. We get lots of lazies, we get lots of crazies, but we welcome everybody, right? And in fact, we do that because we remember that once upon a time we were, in the same category as all these souls who are walking in the door. And just as others have taken so much kindness upon us, similarly we should pass on whatever we have received to everybody who is coming in through our door. So there are many scriptural references. I will not quote all the 100 scriptural references. It will take too much time, and it's something that's for your personal study. Okay, but I will mention a few things here. So one of the scriptures that we accept, right, is the Mahabharata. We also accept a particular stotram. It's traditionally chanted in all Vaishnava traditions, called the Vishnu Sahasranama. In Vishnu Sahasranama, there are 1008 names of Sri Vishnu. And in the Vishnu Sahasranama, each name, you can speak about it for years together, because that is the significance of these names. These amazing names, okay? So in that, you will find I'm going to urge you, anybody who is aware of the Vishnu Sahasranama, to go and find the verse, Shri Vaishampayan Uvacha. Go and find that section. And then, Suvarna Varna Hemango is the next, is the verse. And then when you look at that verse, it means Suvarna Varna means golden complexion. Hemango means one who looks like molten gold, basically. Hema means gold. Hemanga, whose bodily complexion is golden. And then you think about it and you say, this is a Vishnu Sahasranama. Lord Vishnu is described as being the color of a newborn rain cloud. That is, he is bluish, grayish, like it's impossible to describe his color in material terms, but he is dark in general. Lord Ramchandra is also dark. Lord Varahadev appears in different colors but never golden. He appears as red, he appears as white, but never as golden. When you go and look at every incarnation that is mentioned in the scriptures, you find out that there is no golden complexion of Vishnu anywhere, except Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is one evidence. Right? There is, so Vaishampayana, the great one of Vedic sages, has already quoted this in the Vishnu Sahasranama. But okay, we can say, okay, Vishnu Sahasranama, maybe there is some other incarnation that is yet to come. No, I don't accept this. Right? Then, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Krishna Varnam Visha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yatnai Sankirtanai Prayaye Nijanti Sumedasa. Now again you go through the list of incarnations, okay? You will go through all the list of incarnations and find out who is the incarnation who has done Harinam Sankirtan ever. Who is that incarnation? Never. Did Krishna do Harinam Sankirtan? No. Did Lord Ramchandra do Harinam Sankirtan? No. Who did Harinam Sankirtan? Lord Venkateshwara? No. Who did Harinam Sankirtan? There is only one personality who has preached and spread the chanting of the names of Sri Hari, and who is then mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It means that in the age of there is a personality. Krishna Varnam, he is of the category of Krishna. Dusha Krishnam, he is not dark complexion. In other words, he is golden complexion. He is the opposite of dark, is brilliant, right? Krishna Varnam, Dusha Krishnam, Sango Pangasa Parshanam. And he did not come alone. You have all these random so-called incarnations appearing at every street corner, especially in India and in South Asia in general. You should not accept these fellows, because Krishna never appears alone. He always travels with his full entourage. Krishna appears, when Lord Chandra appears, he goes with his entire entourage of billions and billions and trillions of followers. Same thing with Sri Krishna, same thing with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Same thing with any incarnation. So any incarnation comes and claims that I am the incarnate supreme personality of God and I am an incarnation, we should ask, sir, where are your sangha, where are your associates, where are your weapons, where are your millions of followers, and what are their roles? Everybody has a specific role in Krishna's pastime. So we should not accept that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared with these incarnations, right? So there are many other verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam. One of them is a very famous verse from the 8th canto, Kali-yuga nidhe raj. This is spoken by the personality of Kali himself, okay? To Maharaj Parikshit. Kali-yuga nidhe rajan nasti eko mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vache. Maharaj Parikshit saw Kali, the personality of Kali, who was hurting a bull. He was cutting the legs of the bull and he was giving tremendous pain to the cow, Mother Earth, and they were aggrieved. And Maharaj Parikshit, being a Kshatriya means Kshatraya, a person who protects from harm, was about to kill Kali. He could have easily done that. But then Kali reminded him that Kalir dosha nidhe rajan. Yes, I am full of faults. My age is full of faults. Asti eko mahan guna. There is one great quality only in this age of Kali. Kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vache. Only in this age of Kali, there is one good quality, which is that just by performing Hari Kirtan, mukta sangha param vache, you can go to the highest possible destination. Okay, so based on this, Maharaj Parikshit spared Kali. Otherwise, he would have killed it. There would be no Kali-yuga. Right? There would have been no Kali-yuga. But Maharaj Parikshit said, yes, you are right. Actually, many millions of souls will be delivered, by this Harinam Sankirtan process. So this is another reference. And who has spread the chanting of Hare Krishna and chanting of the Harinam? Which incarnation of Godhead has done that? Again, only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is no other incarnation. Right? So there is a verse in the 11th canto, one verse in the 11th canto, which actually describes all three incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one verse. Okay? Would you like to hear that verse? Here it is. It's from the 11th canto, 5th chapter, verse number 34. Dhyatva sudushtya jasurepsi dharakcha lakshmim dharmishtya aryavachasaya dagadaranyam mayam mrigam dayitepsi tamanvadhavat vande mahapurushate charanarvindam. The translation: O Mahapurusha, I worship your lotus feet. You gave up the association of the goddess of fortune and all her opulence, which is most difficult to renounce and is hankered after by even great demigods. Being the most faithful follower of the path of religion, you thus left for the forest in obedience to a Brahmana's curse. Out of sheer mercifulness, you chased after the fallen, conditioned souls who are always in pursuit of the false enjoyment of illusion, and at the same time engaged in searching out your own desired object, Lord Shyam-Sundar. So this verse, actually, the purport is very long, and I'm not going to read the purport of this verse, but it's 11.5.34. You're welcome to read it yourself afterwards. It refers to three incarnations of Godhead. It refers to Sri Krishna himself, and how it refers to, you can look at the purport itself. It refers to Lord Ramachandra, and it refers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So based on this and other references, I finally concluded, okay, I have no escape. I must surrender. I went through a long process. It took me a long time. I don't recommend that anybody goes through that process. But if you do ever happen to go through that process, you can be sure that you are not leaving this process, for sure. Because you have, easy come, easy go is possible. But if you have taken the time to really study and analyze everything thoroughly, then little arguments here and there, some charismatic personality here and there cannot sway you from the path of Krishna consciousness. So now that is out of the way, we can get into what our Vaishnavacharyas are saying about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj is talking about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's saying, Anarpita charim chirad karunayavatirna kalau samarpayatum unnatojvala rasam swabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipida sada hridaya kandare spuratuva sachinandana. This is a verse, that one of the first verses in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, "May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold." See, Suvarna Varna Hemangu, right here. He has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. That's what Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying about why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is appeared. And in the next verse, he's talking about who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is a verse which says, okay, Radha-Krishna pranaya vikritir radhini shaktirasmad ekatmanavapi bhuvi pura deha bhedam gatautau chaitanyakhyam prakatamaduna tadvayam chaikyam atma aptam radha bhavatyutik suvalitam naumi krishna swarupam. Okay, and the translation of this verse is that the loving affairs of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's inner pleasure-giving potency. Although, please note, although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they have separated themselves eternally. Now, these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Okay? So, we should say, okay, he is Krishna himself and in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So, we need to understand, okay, then what is the mood of Srimati Radharani? Then we start questioning, who is Srimati Radharani? And what is her mood? Srimati Radharani, it's impossible to describe in the amount of time that we have, but I can state very short, is that she is the supreme pleasure-giving potency to Sri Krishna. And therefore, her goal is, how can I increase Krishna's pleasure at any cost? It doesn't matter what I have to go through for this, but I will do anything that I can to increase Sri Krishna's pleasure. Also, it's very important that Srimati Radharani, when she does things in a very, very very intelligent way, in the sense that she does not use gross force on anything. So this is, in fact, this is the feminine way of doing things. You tell a man to do something and you tell a woman to do something. Naturally, if the man is acting like the material conditioning of a man, he will go around, he will try to use force to get it done. He will try to yell, scream, force, even hit. And if push comes to shove, he will try to kill. That's why there are so many wars going on around. Right? They will try to kill. You don't listen to me, I will kill you. That's what they will come. And you see, a woman who is acting according to the feminine nature will be very, very, very soft and very, very intelligent about how they approach, how a certain thing needs to get done. Okay? So often, it happens, all of us were children once upon a time, right? And if we wanted to get anything from the father, we always went to the mother, right? And say, this is what I want, how can I make it happen? Okay, so the mother can figure out a way how that can happen, right? So this happens. So whenever Srimati Radharani does something, she does that in that special feminine grace that only she or anybody blessed by her can actually manifest. So all of our spiritual masters, Srila Prabhupada, and all of our spiritual masters are actually blessed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That they are blessed by Srimati Radharani, and they are acting in that way, in that intelligent way. Not necessarily confrontational, not necessarily yelling and screaming, and though they can use that if that is required. So what is Radharani's goal? What does she want? She wants to increase Krishna's pleasure. How can you increase Krishna's pleasure? So for example, if you take the example of a mundane family, how can you increase the pleasure of the parents? You can increase the pleasure of the parents by making sure that the children are with them, isn't it? when the family is separated, children in one place, parents are in one place, parents are not very happy. It's very lonely, very, very depressing kind of atmosphere. Now, this is a mundane example. You cannot compare this to Krishna's situation. Krishna is never depressed. Krishna is never, anything less than ecstatic. Okay, but Krishna's pleasure will certainly be increased if all of Krishna's children are back serving Krishna. So, Srimati Radharani's mood and mission is as follows. It is to take every single living entity and re-engage them in the service of Krishna. All the forgotten souls who have, who have done Bhogavansha Karevich, who have actually tried to enjoy separately from Krishna, her mission is to get these souls back in the association of Sri Krishna. Because they will be happy, Krishna will be happy, and it's win-win all around. And that's her mission. That's what she wants to do. Right? So, therefore, this Harinam Sankirtan movement is actually manifested from the heart of Srimati Radharani. Golokvira Premadhan Harinam Sankirtan. This Harinam Sankirtan is actually manifested from the heart of Srimati Radharani. So anybody who participates in this Harinam Sankirtan movement, in this Hare Krishna chanting, in any way that they can participate, actually is participating in the innermost mission of Srimati Radharani. People often, it has happened that people came and said, actually, you know what, Prabhupada came and he gave you the ABCs of spiritual life. They said, they said he gave you the ABCs of spiritual life. Now, if you want to get the real, deep spiritual understanding of Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna's pastimes, you come to us. Prabhupada has nothing to give you. But these people actually haven't understood the depth of what Srila Prabhupada has brought. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought the Harinam Sankirtan to this realm, to our world. And Srila Prabhupada has spread it out far and wide in an amazing way. And anybody who participates and helps in spreading this Hare Krishna chanting to ourselves first, we have to distribute it to ourselves, and then our overflow can be distributed to others. Otherwise we can sing and we can dance, but nobody else's heart will be moved by that expression, unless we have the overflow generated from our own chanting. Okay. So we are going to talk about, there are many reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and in fact, no one can know why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. No jiva can know about it. Why? Because the definition of God is as such. There's a definition of God. It goes as Yasyantam na vidu sura asura gana devaya tasmai namah. Oh, you Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yasyantam, whose aim or whose goal na vidu cannot be known. Surasura gana, whether somebody is a devotee or whether somebody is a demon, you cannot understand what is Krishna's plan. What is Krishna's end goal? What is Krishna's end game? Nobody will understand that except for Krishna himself and those that he empowers. Yasyantam navidu sura asura devaya tasmai namah. That is the definition of God. A person, a supreme person whose end goal is not known by whether you are a sura or a asura. Right? So therefore, the full extent of why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, when he appeared, is impossible for jivas to understand. Actually. But in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described. Krishnadas Kaviraj Prabhu Maharaj Goswami actually very cautiously explains to us these are the external reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, and these are the confidential reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. And even though the confidential reasons are known theoretically, for a person to realize that, they have to be a pure devotee. So we won't get into the explanations of or try to understand the confidential appearance reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, because I'm not fit to go there myself. Okay, so we'll talk about the external stuff. Okay, here is a verse by Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was a great Vedic scholar, a Mayavadi scholar from the Advaita school, and by interaction with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we won't get into that pastime right now, his heart was changed. His heart was transformed to being a Vaishnava, in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. So he wrote, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Shikshartham Ekam Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dhari Kripambur Niryastamham Prapadde. So Sri Charma Bhattacharya says, Vairagya Vidya, Nijabhakti Yoga. We sang the song, Parama Karuna, Pahudujana. In that song we said, Vishaya Chhadiya, Sera Sera Majya, Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. Right? So that Vairagya Vidya, that unattachment from material sense gratification, is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. And he taught that by his own personal example. Tyakva Durepsidam Rajya Lakshmi. So the verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam describes how he let go of tremendous opulence in order to take sannyas as a young man of 24 years of age, right? Which is extremely, extremely difficult, right? So, Nijabhakti Yogam means he taught devotion to himself. How can you teach devotion to yourself? You have to take somebody else's mood. Because how can you teach devotion to yourself, right? You cannot be devoted to yourself unless you're a, egotistical maniac, which God is not, right? So therefore he took the mood of Srimati Radharani so that he could see the devotion to Krishna from her eyes. And he gave that Shiksharthamekam Purusha Purana, just to teach that the original eternal person, Shiksharthamekam Purusha Purana, is the oldest person, because he is the source of everything and everyone. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sharirudhari. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the embodiment of that desire of Srimati Radharani to re-engage all the souls back in the service of Krishna by rejecting material sense gratification, which is very low class actually. When anybody who has even tiny taste for devotional service will feel that it's very low class. So because Krishna said, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Bhapebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shucha, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender to me. I will take care of all your sinful reactions. Don't worry. He said that. Right? But how many of us are able to do that? The moment we enter into this world, we're constantly looking for this kind of sense gratification, that kind of sense gratification. Even the littlest child is constantly enamored by different kinds of sense gratification. Even the children are so innocent. Isn't it true? So this is our misfortune that we cannot follow Krishna's instructions. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and said, follow me, do this, chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And teach this to everybody that you meet. This is super important. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra means you chant Hare Krishna and you teach others to chant Hare Krishna. So if you go out of here of ISKCON Scarborough and someone asks you, what was that guy saying in there? What are you going to say?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
You're going to say the following. You're going to say, chant Hare Krishna and tell everyone about it. What are you going to say?
Chant Hare Krishna and tell everyone about it.
That's what that guy was saying. Okay. If you want to summarize this whole thing in one word, you're going to say what?
Chant Hare Krishna.
And tell everyone about it. That's what that guy was saying. Okay. So, in fact, this is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam by the words of Lord Brahma, no less than Lord Brahma. In Lord Brahma in the Brahma Vimana Lila, after he realized that who he is dealing with, he made some prayers. He says, Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam jnane sthane stita shuti gatang tanuvang manobhir ye prayasho jita jitopya sitaisti lokyam. Ajita means one who cannot be defeated, one who cannot be conquered. And Ravan tried to conquer, Hiranyakashipu tried to conquer, but they could not, right? Ajita means a person who cannot be conquered, right? But that Ajita becomes Jita, just like little Krishna is running away from Mother Yashoda in fear, right? He is conquered by Mother Yashoda, correct? By this process of Harinam Sankirtan. Not by this process of trying to understand who is Krishna, which is what I was doing. Remember, I told you I asked those 600 questions to my spiritual masters over 4 years and got the answers to all that. But I was trying Jnane Prayasam until I started chanting Hare Krishna. And all those devotees helped me to start chanting Hare Krishna. None of this actually touched my heart. So therefore, in order for spiritual knowledge to actually enter into our heart, we have to take to this process of Harinam Sankirtan. It's not possible. It's not possible without that. You can read the Bhagavad Gita, you can read the Srimad Bhagavatam, but it's all like licking my spiritual master told me this multiple times. There's a bottle of honey, my dear boy, he was telling me, and you are trying to lick the outside of the bottle and you are complaining that there is no sweetness. He was telling me so many times, he told me, my dear boy, just listen to me, chant Hare Krishna and then you will taste all this. And I was like, I'm not sure about chant Hare Krishna. I'm not going to self-hypnotize myself into doing this. But ultimately it is this. Okay, so in every yuga, there is a particular dharma, and that yuga dharma has to be followed. And trying to do something that is not suitable for that age is not the best. So in Kali-yuga, the Harinam Sankirtan is the preferred method. And this day and age, everything has been designed for Harinam Sankirtan. So we talked about that in many different ways. Okay, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva Ratiramyatha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this many times. And it is not that he invented the chanting of Hare Krishna. That's another thing that some people say, right? He just invented something. And I also was of the same opinion because I was reading so many things by so many people, right? But there is actually in the Kali-Santarana Upanishad, there is a verse that says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then this is the mantra, right? Iti namnam shodashakam, Kali kalmashanashanam, Nataha parataropaya, sarva vedeshu drishyate. Right? There is no other better way. If you search through the scriptures, aludhya sarva shastrani, vicharya puna puna, idam ekam sunishpannam, deyo narayana sada. You cannot find an instruction higher than this instruction, which is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as given in the scripture. And there are two versions of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One starts with Hare Rama and the other one starts with Hare Krishna. And I asked my spiritual master that question also, because I was used to chanting this with the Hare Rama before, and he says, just get to chanting it, and once you get chanting it, it doesn't matter where you started. Right? Because you start here, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You're constantly chanting. Where did you start and where did you stop? Right? Or you starting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Where did you start? Where did you stop? It doesn't matter. So we should not get involved with all these unnecessary controversies. I have much more, but I'm going to conclude now, okay? Because we are out of time here. We need to keep the program moving, okay? The mood and mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to deliver everyone from the pangs of material sufferings. Everybody in this material world is suffering from birth, death, old age and disease. Nobody wants to grow old, right? But everybody grows old. Nobody wants to be diseased, but everybody gets diseased. Nobody wants to die, but everybody dies. And once you die, you have to take birth, right? So it's a continuous process. Nobody wants it, but it's happening. And then you have the threefold miseries. Miseries from our own body and mind, right? Miseries from other living entities, mosquitoes, bed bugs, crooks, you name it, right? Miseries from the, from the weather conditions and so on, like Turkey. Just imagine the misery that they're going through right now, right? Just because of that little earthquake, right? Which is nothing. It was not even a blip on the scale of what the earth can actually do, right? But they're suffering from it. So all of us are suffering from this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to deliver us, and not only does he want to deliver us, he wants to deliver to us the highest gift, that is a pure love of God. And he doesn't even consider if somebody is qualified or not. In fact, his mercy becomes our qualification. Because we are so unqualified that we have nothing, no qualification, nothing. So therefore, he has to give us everything that we need to give. So if let's say you want to send someone to India and they don't have money for a ticket, they don't have a passport, they don't have a visa, what are you going to do? First of all, you're going to get them a passport. Then you're going to get them apply for a visa and get them a visa. Then you're going to buy an air ticket for them to get there. Then you're going to arrange for some hotel so that they can go and stay there. Then you're going to give them some money so that they can eat something and not starve to death in India. Correct? So you're going to have to make the arrangements if they don't have it. Similarly, we don't have the qualifications to go back home, back to Godhead. We don't have the qualifications to enter the gates of Vaikuntha. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opens up those gates. And not only does he do that, he sends us into the highest Vaikuntha realm, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, which is not accessible even by people who are firmly practicing Vaishnava culture in a mood of awe and reverence. That's what that first verse, Anarpita Chiracharim, that's what that verse says, that something that has never been given before is being given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Well, that's his mission. Okay, so we don't actually have to worry about our own deliverance because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken care of it. Just by participating in this Krishna consciousness movement, Krishna consciousness, we are taken care of. We actually have to take care of others. That's what we have to focus on. Srila Prabhupada focused on that continuously, constantly worried about others. Right? So we have to actually struggle to convince everyone to chant Hare Krishna. Just as the devotees have struggled to convince us, similarly we have to struggle to convince others to chant Hare Krishna. And just chant Hare Krishna and
Get everybody to chant.
tell everyone about it. Exactly, that's what we need to do. So that's it. We can make a prayer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, just before the altar doors open. Just remember, he can give you anything. Okay, so be careful what you ask for him. Okay, so I'll suggest a prayer. Feel free to pray this prayer or not. It's up to you. Everybody has free will. Okay, my dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please bless me.
Please bless me.
That I may chant
Chant.
these names of Sri Hari,
Names of Sri
which are
Hari,
so dear to you
dear to you,
and are your wealth.
and all your wealth.
But you have given it to us
You have given to us
without considering
without considering
our disqualifications.
disqualification.
If you please,
Please
allow us
allow us
to chant these names
to chant these names
with great love and devotion
with love and devotion
for your pleasure
for your pleasure
and
and
for the benefit
for the benefit
of every single living entity
of every single living entity
in our vicinity.
in our vicinity.
Anyone who agrees to this prayer, please chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra once loudly before the curtain opens. One, we need to go together. 1, 2, 3.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,